mu ggwanga lino n'ekisingira ddala mu byenfuna by'eggwanga era bingi nnyo bye tusobola okuyiga okusinziira ku nfaaye nti abantu bangi nnyo bakoseddwa naye abasinga ku bo they've celebrated his life because by the time he has been there he has played a very huge part. It is on this basis and on that particular remark kwe tugenda okusinziira okuba nga tuyingira topic y'olunaku where we are going to be discussing with the idea of how can someone sustain a business and how can a very huge enterprise remain on board regardless of whether the proprietor is not available on ground obanga afulumyemuko mu ggwanga or maybe unfortunately if at all the owner of the business has fought his last battle in regards to life. Kiba kitegeeza ki eri business omuntu yenna ali eyo oba abantu abali mu business eyo basigala batya nga bagikeepinga okubanga eri ekyali waggulu eyo nga bwe tulabye nti even without BMK who was hospitalized his businesses were still running on. And with me in studio I'm with Miss Prudence from Bella Wines and Juices and we are going to dive into this particular discussion, but first let me give her the time to introduce herself. Sense of Club, welcome.
Is it English or
both?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me, especially on this side not where we have lost our biggest entrepreneur, BMK, whom I knew before even I started this business. Not knowing him as a person, but for us business people, we follow other businesses, we admire and try to follow the, as you admire, you try to follow what is going on. My late son used to talk about him, and he showed me his properties, like those ones in Naguru. That was the first smart house in Naguru. We came to Naguru 2007. That is the house we found which was smart in the area, otherwise it was the bush. That cannot be for anybody. It has to be for somebody. Then came to Hotel Africana. When I came to know Hotel Africana was small, then we kept on seeing growing. People talk BMK, BMK. And what I saw, I also had the chance of supplying that was the first hotel. I supplied my wines and juices. When Muslims were fasting, they used to like because I was the only one making natural juice from passion fruits, from mangoes, cocktail, and I was given a chance to supply in the evenings when they are
they're getting,
I don't know how they call it. During fasting, I know I'm going to get money. So I appreciate him for that. You know, that promotion at that time to get a continuous business where you can supply your products which are not very much known. And that was one of the big hotels to find that my product is there among imported wines. That was also a very big advert. That's a hotel people from outside were coming to. I think that's why I found it easy to market abroad. I appreciated him so much for that. He had the powers to say, I don't want this local wine in my hotel. But he did not. And what I discovered also, that he had dedicated workers in receiving, in the hotel, in the stores. I remember there was a lady, you could think she was a mere worker, but you could think this is a real, maybe a shareholder.
Because she was taking part.
Taking part, you know, in some places when you are supplying, they want kit to go, they can make it hard for you to supply if you are not giving them anything. And to me that time, I didn't have anything. And I'm not the type who bribes. So I wouldn't get through if they were the type. If I had a chance, I used to say, I wish I have a chance of talking to him. I asked him, what criteria does he use to get such workers? Others I came to realize that they were brothers. Even in brothers, some companies have gone there. They are not so dedicated like that. They are not so loyal to their business like that. Me, I'm not surprised that even this Yeah, these few months he has stayed away, sick. The business is running. Because that's a man I've never seen in the business. He operates maybe by remote.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised, and it's going to continue. Yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of Miss Prudence is actually speaking of how family, in some businesses, it's rare to find family being attached to the business because they already know it belongs to my own person. So that means I don't need to put in a lot. So clearly, you could say that the late BMK was actually someone who was running his businesses with his family members, and they have helped him strive and helped him build a stronger base in regards to his business entities in Uganda. Now, Ms. Prudence, I want us to dive into our discussion, our main discussion today. Why is it a problem? First, let us even ask, why do you think it is a problem for business owners who put their family members into business to actually strive?
Thank you so much for that question. You know, I've been in business of these wines and juices for 20 years. I was doing a business, I was born a business person. But this one of wine and juice, you have to go to meet a lot of people, many businesses. I have a good experience how I can make the businesses collapse or succeed. The supermarket, the first one, also one of the big supermarkets who had even branches I supplied, was run by relatives, especially in-laws. You know, are you men with your in-laws, when she's a sister of your wife, she's like a what? They are the ones who are running. And to them, I'm sorry to say, there are some ladies, when you give those managerial positions, they feel as if they are one of the business. Because me, I just met the owner when I was, surprisingly, I still had my wine in plastic. But I had the courage of approaching. When they told me, hey, this is the owner, this is the proprietor of these supermarkets you see. I said, no. He was very happy, you know, to see, somebody is happy to see that you have made a product like this, even if packaging is still a problem. So he said, no, it is okay, you can bring. But since, when I went to the supermarket, I saw, no, there is no way I can put this plastic bottle here. I decided to start supplying the juice, since I had the organic juice from our natural fruits. But the way the ladies were handling me, it was not only me, it was other, even just a meeting had to give for the LPO was a problem. Payment, you know, somebody to tell you come back, you are putting in money, you are just starting. That is a waste. So I was not surprised when they started collapsing. But the businesses which, I don't know why he was not, the mistake also he made is to reach a point and you relax, you leave it to others to manage.
Okay. What
causes the businesses to collapse? You are one of the business, you are the business person. You start, the idea was yours, you started, and now as it is beginning to grow, you bring in other people to manage. My family, you are occupying them with the jobs which they are not even trained for. So that one also can make the businesses collapse. I'm sure this BMK, even if he was not participating in everything, he was watching how things are being run, monitoring and advising them. Family members, like me, I'm very sure my business will not, even if I go today, my business will continue. Why? Because I started with my children when they were young. The mistakes we make is that when we start a business, we don't want to involve our children. We are working so hard alone. You are paying their school fees, their tuition. When they graduate, you say, come and work for me. They, of course, like now this lack of jobs, excuse me, how can he sit at home when the father has a business? So he will be forced to come and work for you. But that's not where his interest is.
He's just coming.
He's coming, he doesn't have a job. If there is a chance of having a job somewhere, or because there is money, He's coming for money, not because
he wants to work for you.
You are not going to start like now. What you pay when somebody has just started without experience is not what you pay with somebody experienced. But because he's your child, you try to pay him well.
Because you want to make him happy.
Those are the ones you find with the expensive watches, nice cars. That's not you. That's not your business. So those are the problems of not starting your business with your children. Now, whatever age he is, when you start with them.
Involve him.
Yeah, that will give you a chance of knowing where one's interest is. Because when I started this one in my kitchen, there is cutting fruits. There is also, even if we didn't have a big weighing scale, but if somebody has to sort them and weigh them, you find somebody is interested in cutting. Another one is interested. You said this is how much this bag. You find he wants to calculate. Another one, hey, you are taking this wine, so now this car is not okay. So now you know where they belong. You will not force this one. You come and cut fruits. You put that one will not have the interest and will not do well. So by the time they grew, they knew the type of courses they should take in order to continue with the business. So you find one is heading accounts because he took finance. Another is heading production. Another one is heading marketing and the mechanical because he took mechanical engineering. Okay. We don't take our vehicles anywhere to be repaired.
When he's there, yes. That is very.
So that is the first most important thing. But all this is because you put everything in God's hands. You alone you cannot manage. You may want your children to start when they are young, but they have no interest even if they are small. So everything has to be in God's hands. Yes. And when God's hands, even when you are starting a business, you put him, he will direct you the proper business to do. Don't think people who have started businesses and they corrupt at times, they are not very clever, they are not what? You don't have guidance. And a fellow human being may not guide you well. So that is the
danger.
Another big problem why business don't continue. I'm the owner of the business, but I have secrets. Now when you don't show people how you are doing the business, how will they continue with it? So you should be very open and trust. Of course, when by bad luck, because we have tried to bring in some relatives, you see they don't do well, you get rid of them. But be open in each and everything.
Now, clearly, now we're looking at, let's now first dive into how can we sustain our businesses. More so now in terms, maybe if at all you're going to travel abroad and you've left business with you.
I was coming to that. So if I'm going abroad and I have not been open with my business, still they can't do much. I have done it. I have told you I've traveled, I've marketed in 15 countries abroad, even East Africa. So now what I do, when I go, I leave off my phone off, let them manage when I'm not there. Okay. So now when you come back, you stay there for a month, come back, is it the same? Where you found the challenges, they found the challenges, you can be able to correct them. But not to leave this suddenly, you have been with them all the time. You think they are operating well, but they are operating under your cover. So how to sustain? Before you come to that, how do they sustain? But you, as you are running a business, how are you supposed to run it so that it can be continued? You see businesses running, yes, but they are not running from the money that is coming from the business. And most of the businesses that have continued, the way we see BMK starting small and grew. I was shocked even when I had when we were talking about him on TV. I only knew Hotel Africana, but there are others up country, abroad. Yes. So, but he started small. Now, the way problems are, you see big businesses. A big business has started. How how is it sustained? How did that man get money to start that big business? Not for us who have started small on the journey. How did he get money to start that business? Does that money be respected like the one we have suffered before? But then he's working somewhere else. He has his deals. The business is run by relatives, by children, by others. But for him, he keeps on injecting in more money from elsewhere. Now immediately he goes, that source is cut off. That's why you see business is going back slowly. That shows that the business that was, the money that was running the business is not the money that comes out of the business, but comes outside. In fact, I have a friend who also called the people to analyze his business. He was paying workers. The list was 1 million. The rest was, but this business, does it pay workers all that much?
And that was the question he had also.
Yes. So he brought a specialist, somebody to analyze his business. Only to realize that if that business is to survive on what is coming out of the business, the workers should be getting 300. The list should be 500. And when they told the workers, all the workers left.
Because they felt like they are going to receive less money.
But you have been getting the 1 million, 1.5, how do you go to 300?
Yeah, definitely. But then I think even the man was looking at it in this way, that he was not earning more money from the business.
He was not earning, and he didn't mind, because whenever he gets money,
he
travels abroad, he brings you bring nice dresses, again add in the shop.
Without even knowing how much.
That money that is purchasing its stock is not from the business.
From the business.
But for us, money comes from the business. We save a bit and inject it back. That one, the business has to die, whether you like it or not.
Because you don't know how far it is even.
Because you have not. Now, whom have you trained to do such a business? Do you say there are even those who steal? You see this corruption. A corrupt man has business. Is whatever millions he corrupts,
he just puts it there.
Is he going to train one of them to be corrupt?
No. It's like he's running the business to pay off people.
So now to pay off, it is like a hobby.
You just love.
That's not even a business. That's not even a business.
Okay. Because if someone is operating a business and it's not making profits, but then you're paying workers, then literally you're just paying people.
You are just paying people because that is not the business that is running. At times I wonder why do I get a lot of awards because of doing the business? People think it is we are in billions and what? Yet I see businesses with billions, they are not mentioned. Because starting like with this cup, tomorrow I have, next month I have 2 cups. Next year I have a drum. The other year I have, it's not easy. And I have not got money from anywhere, but from selling this cup of tea. Not getting money from elsewhere. Of course there have been a lot of talks. People talk. That one who gets money from here, it is running, it is from first trade, they who give money, what. But eventually the truth comes out. Now if the way they are saying my business is run by the government, if I go, who will be
definitely
who will go to the government to get money?
Because now clearly these are some of the things that because you're mentioning of how people should avoid keeping secrets of the business, and they lay them on board, because sometimes you may not be there. And it is something that I've also picked out of it. If you're to sustain something, how many people know about your if at all it's juice, how many people know about the remedies that you use and the things like that? The
good suppliers that's why I say maybe I should bring it in this way, that you should delegate as much as possible.
Okay.
Delegate. If like now what I did, because I have to keep on referring to myself. What I did every month, because I'm the entrepreneur, though my late son was the founder, but it didn't continue with his knowledge. It had to be me to continue with it. So what I did, every market I get, I first exhaust it and know know it very, very well before I dedicate someone, so that you can guide. You have a chance, you as the owner of the business, when you start to do everything, study it very well, then you start dedicating. As you are dedicating, you are guiding. Like now, if I am the one who marketed the whole of Uganda, a marketer will not go to Chisoro and say, Chisoro, they don't like where they want sweet. No, I have been there. You cannot tell me that fuel from here to Chisoro is 2 million. I know it is 800 because I've been there. You cannot tell me in Chotera things are like this. I know. But after that, I will dedicate. Then I keep on collecting. You have told me that right, that the fuel. I say, no, fuel is, so that one is collected. Fuel for 800 will be the one used. You tell me, no, we have not worked very well, because if he keeps on giving us choices, then you put someone else who can manage there. So, like, if you don't dedicate, you are doing everything until you collapse.
Okay.
It will be. And another thing, if you want to sustain the business, let there be systems. Because when my first daughter, my first girl, you know, all my children are involved. She's our consultant. When she brought this, I was against it at first. Me, when I get money, I go and buy sugar.
Okay.
When I get money, I go and buy passion fruits.
Okay.
But she said, no, put systems, budget. You budget, you know that this quarter year, we are going to do A, B, C, D. We compare with the previous year, what happened previous years, how was it happening? Which month did you sell more? Which month has season for passion fruits? Then you budget. You say now this from January to March we make so much. So this money, how much are you going to save? How much are you going to put back in the business? As business grows, everyone knows. It is no longer you. So even if you go, it will just continue smoothly. Because
people are already used.
Yes, and that's what I saw even in the BMK. Systems, it doesn't need to be there. Because at times, me, you know, when you are promoting your product, you are so aggressive. I would just want to come and enter with my wines and juices. When there is any occasion there, let me say there are conferences, I want to come with my wine so that I can go and sell off. It is not BMK to come and tell me, no, this is not done like this. People were there, and even the following day and the other, things are done the way they are supposed to be done. The one who stopped me the first time is not the one who is there now. But he doesn't do what he wants. He has joined, the systems are there, he has to do what the policies of the company are doing. So tomorrow, even if BMK is not there, the systems are there continuously.
And they're already being followed by these people.
Yeah, they are but when you are doing your things the way you want, you are favoring whom to pay, who not to pay. It can't work. And when you are paying your workers, your suppliers very well, business continues. But now I have seen owners of the businesses dying, and you see people coming. Even when you see the money that is in the business and the assets are not what the debts are, which are outside.
Okay.
So if you say, if you have, like in your policies, you say, no, when the suppliers supply, shouldn't take more than a month to be paid. Even if you die, you don't leave a lot of debts behind. You know, at times, and what makes also businesses to collapse is to want to appear of what you are not. I remember when I started the first, trade show at UMA.
At UMA, the annual, I think.
It is annually, because now
we have COVID.
COVID is not just, it was started by Leti Murana. And at that time they were showing only Ugandan products made in Uganda. He was promoting manufacturers in Uganda. Though now things I think have changed, but they are trying. So somebody told me, the way I have started small, this show I have come maybe with a border. Another show I have come with the one who can. He said, no, you see these trucks here branded. You also go and hire a truck. You brand it better, People will say, hey, this is a brand. I say, no. I will not be happy when I reach there. I want to go step by step. The day I entered with my tracker branded Bella in Iwuma, I will say, this is me.
Not rushing into...
Not rushing, not pretending to show people what you are not.
Because you may crash at the end of the day.
You crash because now, if you have gone step by step, it is very easy for someone to continue like that. But if you have jumped some steps, they may now, and you go, the people you leave may come down those steps which you missed. And another thing, when you know business very well, you are running it very well, because me, like I went back for 8 years, so that I can understand my business very well. Now when you go, you have not trained these people. They are using your head to do business. What will happen when you go? It will also go.
Because they have no idea of how you're doing certain things, and it is all behind you.
And now the people you are working with, your workers, your relatives, your children, show them, let them know how to save. Let them, I introduced money to them when they were still young. Let them know the value of money. Let them know that the money which is not yours is not yours. It's not yours.
The money you've not worked for
so that's why they cannot say, I have seen a nice car, I want to buy it. Is your salary what buying that car? You have to work very hard in order to what?
To get that car.
To get that car. Not because your mother has a big business, you can just pull out money from.
And then you go and buy that car and enjoy yourself.
And from childhood, teach them the value of money and to respect money. Because if I was not taught by my parents that, my parents were also entrepreneurs, they were business people, but his money was his money. He taught us how to respect money. I respect your money. I cannot come to you and say, give me 100. Then you start calling me the money I gave you. How much did you give me? You can imagine. You came crying. I
crying
gave
for
you.
money.
Then you start asking me how much I gave you.
You're more aggressive than me who borrowed you the money even.
There are those even who have a habit. I give you money. I go and let me say you get a work and say go all your children go and buy these passion fruits. You have given 1 million, so after weighing it is 875. Then you keep the change. No, you have to bring the balance back to the business. You can't say this is a balance and now the expected money was 1 million, but it has been this.
It has been more than that.
Respect money which is not yours. And as they grow, it grows into them. The values of money. And also to the ESCO, it has to be taught when you are young. And you have to be a good example. Because if you are, surprise has come, tell that one I'm not there.
Yet you're already around.
I'm around and the surprise there, you tell them,
tell them it's not
how do I
around.
send my son to go and say, you tell the surprise I'm not around?
I'm not around.
We have, somebody has supplied, we have made money is there. You say, no, we are not paying, let us maybe go and buy a car, let us maybe, no. And you are showing them. But now, they have grown with you in the business, they have seen how you operate, what has helped the business to grow. Like this time of COVID, where life was very, very hard. We don't have any money, sales are very low. But we are allowed to continue operating. So I don't have any problem. There is no supplier who can refuse to give us what we want, materials. Because we have been paying them very well. There is no bank that can refuse to give us money. Because we have been paying whenever we borrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Prudence, as we wind up the show, as we end up the show, what are your few assessments that you can give to a business owner out there? Some people have maybe just started out 5 years, maybe 2 years in the business. What are those last few things that you can tell them in case they are finding challenges in staying in business?
You know where you find it, when you find a challenge in a business, it is easy to overcome it when you have passion for that business. I always say that there is an entrepreneur and a businessman who has got money and decide to do business. Somebody is doing business because he saw Bella starting with this passion fruits and she has made a brand. So you also decide to do that. But when you start business with a good idea and with the passion, any challenge you overcome it. It is like now you are determined to serve Smart 24. You are going to meet challenges. Are you going to run away? You will. So even in business, there is no business without challenges. In fact, you have asked an example recently. I was buying matoke. During COVID, I was using the branded car. So I bought matoke. Now, another time I came with my Prado. But when he went to put matoke in the boot, he saw a better wine. He said, yeah, you are the one. I saw you on TV. The other day you came with a branded car. I did not know you are the one. Now recently I saw you on TV. What's Korotya? I'm here doing my talk, but things are not okay. Even my neighbors it seems they are jealous. I say no. Yeah, he was waiting for me to say, you see, I went to witch doctor and what because he saw
I got this money, I bought a cow. Because for him, he's already seeing big achievements.
Yeah, big achievements. Say, no, you have to go slow. And look enough, you are still young. I started flying when I was 50. So you are still young in the early 20s.
You
go
still have
slow.
time.
Why do you want to drive a Prado which I'm driving when you are 20? I bought this one when I'm already 50. But because of this patience, investment, a good business to survive. You are saying we have run business for 5 years and you're having challenges. But business is an investment. A good business to survive has to be 10 to 15 years. You see BMK dying peacefully, billions. Now you think how much money has he costed. You heard during COVID people here crying. The bodies are being held in hospitals.
And his was in.
His was Nairobi. It is God who said, now this is the time for you to come. But not because they are afraid to treat him.
Definitely.
But why was the money there to treat him? Because he has invested for all these years.
And he could meet
people can
expenses.
And he was also helping people where he can, and not because you force him to do. He can say, now this time I've made money, let me do this for the people. So you now 5 years in and that's the beginning of the journey. You are not yet. Don't rush to be rich. Make sure you are healthy to run your business. Don't see somebody who is now driving himself. You have started a shop. Somebody has come and opened it. And you want that same shop. You feel you are useless.
Just because
you feel you have challenges.
A better shop.
If you listen to Simon of Hardware Deal, when I heard his story, he started small with like a small place with maybe these were small tools. As he was beginning to grow, somebody came and put a huge hardware near him. And the wife refused to open. But he said, no, don't worry. Because like now, I studied economics. They say how do small businesses survive amidst
bigger firms?
I make sure I open. If that hardware opens at 9, I open at 6. Somebody will find that soap will be open.
So they know the timing.
Somebody wants one bag, he has come that big hardware, there is a line, he will buy your cement, one bag, you will survive. And that's what he did. Now you see where he is. He has gone step by step. Look at Kazire. Kazire, if you hear his story, and people should even support these people. They have grown steadily. Even if Kazire goes, even if Simon goes, the businesses are going to continue.
Going to prevail.
Yes, because now Kazire said after graduation, he sat home. But he said now, he's food scientist. He has studied these herbs world. Why sit here? Why can't I start? He said he's first employed his mother maybe to pound these herbs what? Which were cheering the people around them. And now, the mistakes we make, is to see that there is somebody has never even taken medicine, sees there is money in this, doesn't know. When he sees the tracks of Kazile going, everyone is taking Kazile for medical thing. He said, let me also start this.
Start that.
And they start forging.
And destroying the market.
Yeah, he will try to forge, he will try to see what does Kazile write on there.
And then he also puts, and yet they are different things.
You may succeed for some years because you have money you are putting. You go, but who is going to forge what you are forging?
Definitely.
So you have to do clean business. You have to be patient. You who are there who have just started business, when you say it's 5 years, 5 years is nothing. We are still investing. See these children who have masters and the one who dropped in the P5. Are they the same? Do they have the same value? No. So if there are some parents after P7 say, you even see them looking for a job for their children. But what can he do? But some parents persevere, sell whatever they have, they educate their children they graduate and start working and they start earning back. That child looking after the parents who has graduated and this one who dropped out P7, they will not look after you the same. So this is the business. Business is also life. You have to invest. Investment between 15 and 10 years. 5 years you are just beginning.
Okay. All right, now I think you've picked out something out of it. We've had a number of issues in our discussions here on how you can sustain your business even if you're not there as the owner. Some of the things that I've learned is make sure you run with the systems as well, but also patience is key in any aspect. It has been SMB and we've been having a discussion with Ms. Prudence Ukonika from Bella Wines and Juices. I do hope you've picked out something and it is going to be of help to you. Okay, she wants to say something before we do say goodbye.
And of course, to have a continued business when your children are in is very good.
Okay.
But again, don't make your children directors who don't have that passion. Don't look out an outsider who has passion for your business because you want your son to be the one to do that. That also kills businesses. I'm sorry I'd forgotten to mention it. It's very key.
It is very key.
Because if you look at BMK in the managerial positions, they are his brothers, they are outsiders, and they are. But the fun, he has chosen people who have passion. Passion, you can meet all the challenges. Passion, you are looking for the business to grow. Not how much money am I getting from this business. Somebody loyal and who has passion. Very, very important. Yes. So
passion is key for anyone out there if you're looking for someone who's going to work for you. Thank you for everyone who has joined us from where we did start from, and thank you for keeping it SMB. I'm Joram Post Sonko. Goodbye.
Smart 24, driving business.